The Wild Badger pole saw. I couldn't get it to crank this morning. Look at that. Red wasps, honeybees. You come around this side is another spot. See them horse flies right there, guys? Apparently this tree here is leaking some kind of sap that's sweet in them two spots. And they coming and getting it. I ain't never seen that before myself. Well, good morning, guys. Welcome back to Papaw's place. As always, if this is your first time here, thanks for dropping in. Feel free to drop in anytime you feel, my friend. Guys, today, my little Wild Badger 26cc 4-in-1 pole saw, weed whacker, edger. It wouldn't crank this morning. Well, I noticed when I'd pumped the bubble wasn't pumping up. But then I got to looking, and the fuel hose is done got dry rotted and brittle and done cracked, so it was sucking air. So we are about to replace our fuel hose on my little Wild Badger. This has been one little awesome weed eater. And I got the backpack blower. But for the money these things sell for, this is a great little weed eater. So get over here and let's see how we can go about changing out the fuel line. Now looking at it here, it's got 4 screws that holds the fuel tank on, and we're gonna go on and remove it because that'll make life a lot simpler. Plus we gotta get that hose back down in that tank. So I don't know if y'all can see where that come from, but there's a screw right back in there on the back of the fuel tank on front left side and right side, and then there's 2 right here on this little metal bracket that holds the tank on. Now I don't know what star pattern size that is. I just stuck one in there till I found the right size. I done got to where my eyes, I can't read the sizes on these little screwdriver bits anyway. But it's just a star pattern. And then the smaller ones right here takes a smaller star pattern. But yeah, I went the other day, I was mowing one of the camps I mow, and a wind done blowed a small tree over in the driveway going in. And I got this pole saw out, and well, it cranked on about the 3rd pull like it always does. Well, by the time I picked it up, it went dead. And then I pulled, and I couldn't get it to crank, which is not normal for this Wild Badger. I get home that evening, I said, well, I'll fix this Wild Badger, see what's wrong with it. Guys, I pulled it one time and it run. I said, out here and run it a while. So that was been a few days ago. This morning I was going to use it. I pulled it one time, it cranked, run there for a second, went dead. Pulled, couldn't get it to crank. And that's when I noticed, when I started trying to prime the bulb, it wasn't priming. And see how that hose there done got brittle, done cracked. And when it was, I done cut that in there so I could take it in the parts house and make sure I got the right size. But we're gonna pull these 2 little hoses off right here off the carburetor. And that hose is done. I don't know what you call that. It ain't melted, but it's dried to that nipple on that carburetor. So we're gonna get them tore off of there. brittle where there it comes. I was gonna say it ain't brittle up there where I need it to be brittle to make it come off easier. Next, we're gonna take a screwdriver and pop this out of this fuel tank where the hoses go in. It ain't just popping out very easy. That thing fit in there tight. Get another screwdriver because we don't need to damage this. We got to have that. It won't work without this piece. There we go. You see that hose? It done pulled off into the tank. So now I'm gonna just pour this gas back in my gas can. Actually, guys, I went and poured that into my backpack blower. And when I did, the filter and the rest of the hose fell out from the inside. It didn't hit the ground, of course, and got grass on it. So now we're going to remove the gas hose from the filter. See if we can stick that right back on that filter, this new hose. Again, I don't know what size hose this is. That's why I cut that and took it in the parts house and told him I needed about a foot of hose that size. We're gonna put our little wire clamp back on there like it was. And then we're gonna try to feed this through here just like so. And then I'm gonna guesstimate here about the hose length I need. I'm gonna say about that long right there. And this is the return hose. So the return hose on this Wild Badger is going to be the one that's the furthest away from the bottom of the carburetor. If you want to check it, just push your bubble and you see gas coming out squirted on me. That means that's your return when you're pumping your bubble. All right. And now I'm gonna run this right through there. And actually I just done this wrong, guys. I'm gonna have to pull that back off the carburetor because I need to get this all back down into the tank. Stick the end of the bypass hose back in there, or the return line. Ain't a bypass. Well, it does bypass the carburetor when you're priming it. Now we're gonna see if we can stuff this rubber right down in there without breaking it. And in case you didn't see the videos of me with these Wild Badgers, I'll put them at the end of this video, because these are really good tools for their price. Or at least I've had good luck with them. And let me tell you, this thing cranks easier than the Steels and even that $100 Maruyama one I got. So now we got that back on there. Gas tank goes on like so. We're gonna cut this gas line right there about like so. And then I'm gonna have another little piece put in my toolbox in case I need it. This was the fuel in with the filter, so it goes on that big one that's closest to the carburetor. Right down there. I knew this was going to be harder to get on there when you're trying to hold the tank up very close to it. But with a little patience, it's going to go. Gonna be a mechanic and work on stuff yourself, you got to have a little patience. Now I'm gonna tell y'all a story about patience and mechanic. When I was a young kid, I had an uncle named Jerry, Uncle Jerry. He lived off in Mississippi somewhere or another. And me and Daddy and my grandpa, we went to spend the weekend with him. And he had an old farm tractor. Well, he was out there trying to get that tractor to crank that morning, and it wouldn't crank. He was fooling with the carburetor. Finally, he got mad and chunked his wrenches across the yard, and it actually scared me as a little kid. And my daddy asked him, he said, "Jerry, did you check that tractor to see if it's got gas in the tank?" Well, he said a little word there and said, "Why, yeah. I put gas in it, it's filled up with gas. Just filled it up the other day." So Daddy backs the truck over there and he hooks the chain to the tractor, and Uncle gets on there, and I'm riding in the back of the truck. 'Cause back in the old days, you could ride in the back of the truck, nobody thought nothing about it. He pulled that tractor up the road, pulled it back to the house. Tractor still ain't fired off. Daddy walked over and takes the gas cap off the tractor, and it's bone dry. Didn't have a drop of gas in it. So Uncle done got mad and doing all that mechanic work, throwing wrenches, lost his patience. And the tractor didn't even have gas in it. And that's one thing, I don't see my uncle once in a blue moon, and it's been several blue moons since I've seen him. But all of my life, I remember that as a little kid, and I always asked him. Still to this day, have I seen him today? "Oh, you been throwing any wrenches lately?" "Oh boy, shut up." Well, there we go, guys. I'm gonna go over and put a little gas in here and see if that fixed our issue. I'm about 99.56321% that that's what the problem was. Alright, I got her filled up with gas. We're gonna pump this bubble now. Oh, yep, it's pumping right up. Put the choke on. Just mower cranks then, but I can tell y'all why. With all that pulling I'd done on it when it would get some gas but wouldn't get gas and get some gas, I done about filed that. I done about flooded that spark plug out. But now she's cranking. The way she's supposed to crank. So now, while we got her out, might as well tighten this chain up. Now you can see it's pretty oily from using the pole saw. But what I need there, probably a number 12 wrench. Let's go see. Nope. That's a number 10, guys. I don't know how y'all's toolbox is. All you do, guys, is loosen off on that. And then right around here between the bar and the oil tank is a screw. Turn it clockwise. Hold up on your bar. And you don't tighten it up, you just tighten it till your chain gets tight. And then you just snug this little number 10 back down. But I don't know how y'all's tools act in y'all's toolbox. But for example, if I was wanting this a while ago a number 10, and I go in there, I find every size but number 10. If I go in there and I want a flathead screwdriver, I find 10 Phillips screwdrivers and can't find the straight. If I go in there wanting a Phillips, then all I can do is find the flatheads. Craziest thing I ever seen. But guys, that's how you change your fuel line on your weed eaters. It's just that simple. I footed that line at our local parts house a while ago was $2. And I still got enough here to at least replace one line. But I hope y'all enjoyed that. If you did, please reach down there and hit that subscribe button. Ring that notification bell. Give me a thumbs up on the videos. And I'll see y'all next time. Appreciate y'all.